Hi, for my video I'm going to be discussing marriage in 18th century America and some of the journal articles that have been written about that. So Ruth Bloch, in her article Changing Conceptions of Sexuality and Romance in 18th Century America, studied marriage as a monogamous pairing of a man and a woman. She also discussed how intimacy was reserved only for marriage, and she sought to historically link romance with marriage instead of the link between economics and societal expectations with marriage that is commonly assumed for the 18th century. She mainly uses the writings of wealthy males from the period as her primary sources, as that is what is typically most easily available. For example, the many letters between John and Abigail Adams showed on several accounts their love and their affection for each other. She inferred that many colonials followed the writings of Thomas Jefferson in their own pursuit of happiness within their own marriages. Whether or not their marriage started out as happy, she believed that their marriages could become happy. Sarah T. Damiano, in her article, Writing Women's History Through the Revolution, Family Finances, Letter Writing, and Conceptions of Marriage, studied how women took part in the American Revolution, but without a part in the warfare. She showed how married women had an absolution to boycott British goods following their taxation, and then they used their creativity or their frugality to substitute the boycotted items or just make do without them. For many women, while their husbands were away with the Continental Army, they took over the family finances. Damiano uses letters between spouses as well as their personal diaries as sources. Martha Washington was one woman who took over the purchasing and sale of properties, land, as well as the running of the estate while George was away with the army. In these ways, Damiano showed marriages either strengthened during the American Revolution through mutual respect of one another, or through their duties done, or they weakened because of mistakes and failures by either side or even both sides. So for my last article, Terry L. Snyder, in Refiguring Women in Early American History, has a somewhat negative view as opposed to the previous two articles. She has a somewhat negative view of marriage during the 18th century in America. Her purpose is to study the forgotten women, such as those who were single. Snyder likened marriage to colonization, as she thought that it was part of male imperialism. However, her positivity does come through as she discussed the unmarried women who accomplished much for the American colonies, such as their efforts in organizing funds for the soldiers and their artistic work in the trading community. Many Native American women especially fell into this category, as is shown by Snyder's use of newspaper ads, which show some indigenous pieces that were for sale or for trade. And lastly, Snyder looked at the female reformers who urged the government officials to alter the laws pertaining to gender. When these laws slowly were changed to reflect equality, more women felt equal to men in many different respects. Snyder believed this helped to produce happier marriages. Thank you.